It's two very different approaches to this. The double controller from Karmine Corp against Xipto's Vito double duelist. I'm so excited to get into our first match of today.
I'm especially excited to see what Con is going to be able to do on this attack side with the agent. It can be a little bit tougher to get that utility into play, but patiently waiting on the other side and is actually going to potentially hit a nice timing, a wonderful timing in fact. Helps out Graham's with the double, and that's already a wonderful start. And the worst thing is, these players were just faking. They're pulling a full rotation to the other side of the map, but without finding that pick onto Anacilia. Anacilia now knows at least the direction of the play.
Yeah, I think got that info with the spike plant, but Capricious takes Anacilia down, and now a 2 versus 5. It's Glance all alone. And this one, I think, too far gone. A great round by Xipto. I love the fact that we had such a slow and steady approach. It played the fake well, and even after losing so much HP in that B main fight, that player's able to reposition and play off the timing. 1-0 start for the attacking side. The pistol's theirs, and, well, should be a 2-0 beginning to the map. Start, but, well, they're on the 0 side, so they got the rifles out. This is their chance to fight back into things, and Anacilia's already done a very valuable kill. Capricious out of the round. They've lost the Astra, and going in for more is Anacilia. GX is pushing down very slowly on mid, but there might be no one left to brawl with by then. The stars shining bright for KC in round number 3.
And that's a pretty good way to come back onto the border. A flawless. Good way to get back on. Now, interestingly, Con has now picked up that operator. So still looking to run it. Wow, this is aggressive. GX immediately dealt with finding where the majority of the opponents are. And in fact, the knife will really give them all that information. But I don't think that was a worthwhile trade.
No, I think that's fair to say. You know, losing out on, luckily, not all of your smokes. Having Safia in play here gives KC that little bit more to play with in terms of the delay. But Xipto can now play this round much slower, already having that advantage, and it looks like sending the duelists to farm up a battle on middle while KC go pushing down. A big brawl on its way, and the reveal will be broken in time, so no info on that push, but it looks like Yumi's got an idea. Alki the one to hit the first shot, but now she's stuck down on mid, has to stand her ground, and she will! Go supernova to take a triple, but it's still even numbers with Capricious bringing it back. But now, all that weight on her shoulders, surrounded and dealt with as KC tie it up.
I feel like for Xipto, this has got to be a bit of a tilting round, if anything. Like, you're waiting for a lot of this aggression. I think they even put the chokehold, that's the new trap from Vito, to block off any more aggression they made. So, okay, you're going to have to reveal yourself. And even having the idea that the opponents were going to push.
Yeah, they sent the drone out on mid. It got broken about 20 seconds ago, and that gave them the idea to stick with 3 players and then later 4, just in case Xipto were late pushing it. But for Xipto, that's worked wonderfully because they made the call to back out of mid, send their players towards this A site. Now they're seeing, and it's open for the taking. 1 player there, but Anacilia drops out of heaven, manages to put a spanner in the works. And now it's on to GX to find that value. Shorty in hand, in the smoke, and that's the spike down. They've got to push into GX's hands, and she is crushing them. Fight after fight. 1 player has managed to slip through to the backlines, but just got spotted. That timing was terrible. As Alkia manages to find that one, Capricious stands no chance. And KC, they keep putting these rounds on the board now, 4-2.
Even just based off the healing alone can be quite a nasty ult to try and deal with. But it's safe to say, I do have the expectation. Oh, okay, I was going to say that Con will do better on the other side, but it seems like they're going to be playing the defense already at the beginning of this one, just trying to hold on after being pressured, knowing there's only 1 player there, but Graham's does well. Keeps things even for now, and actually, GX has been caught.
They have indeed. Yeah, that aggression not working out, as now we look to that site with only Anacilia standing, Safia miles away, a star there to help, but the first shot lands on the decoy. They know that she's here now, and they'll look to the backside just to get around. Get this plant in. Anacilia quickly invading the smoke after the nade, but nobody walks in. From Xipto's perspective, they don't want to give away picks, and they almost do, with Safia finding 1, but it's traded out. Safia 1v2, and the AWP might not be the perfect weapon for it, but if she can isolate these fights, this could still be her round.
And he gave her a small amount of margin, but now that starts to get a little bit scary. The newfound Cubby Definitely going to be a more difficult position to clear, but she's got the right idea. Oh no, the shot's missed! Was a little bit too quick with it. And for Paiti, that doesn't get much easier when your opponent misses an operator shot.
And it doesn't work out. But Xipto, one round win ain't enough. We got to see probably even 2 from this point, and the off is right back up because those credits for KC riding high. Alkia playing a very risky game, but almost getting the reward. Still a 5v4, even without that second shot hitting.
Now she's over to the other side of the map, just waiting for the reclear elsewhere. Space taken in mid. Now, Anasilia has been around this position quite often, and Con is aware. Ready for the peak. Maybe something KC have to be a little bit careful of is overheating in some of these positions. You already had a 2-player advantage, but they looked for a little bit more. Well, the plan here is to go into the Lion's Den. And that's where GX will be waiting.
Well, the evolution active. There's not much to really avoid in terms of ultimates, but utility, that paranoia for the retake, not going to do a damn thing.
Maybe a dart.
Con, yeah, exactly. A few pieces of utility that don't have to be worried about now. KC, player advantage already, up on its way, and that's what they're waiting for. They want Alkia with this push. Alkia's been hitting everything. The rifle picked up, and it's still just as deadly. But Yumi's got a great position. 1 found. And now the ult active as well. That's going to cause problems. Maybe even give Paiti a chance inside main, but smoked off. That smoke fading. Here's the chance for the fight. Catches glance. Spray! So close to the kill. But now Alkia can continue the defuse as GX picks frag after frag. 6-3. You got a feel for Xipto, though. That one was damn close. And you see exactly why they choose this round to go for that aggression, rotate, coming through, players close to mid, but the idea is to back up that B site. But look where the spike is for Xipto. They're playing for mid control right now, but no real direction in terms of where that plan's coming in. They're looking for fights, and they're about to get them, but it's Alkia who's taking the challenge. You see her, and you just get the hell out of there. Nice dive in from Yumi, but Glenn's too quick to pull out the shorty. Has made this one a little bit more difficult for Xipto.
Alkia on the angle, or maybe not on the angle, but it doesn't matter. Quick enough in the reaction. The second player coming, she's nervous that maybe mid has been lost. But both players stick towards main. A chance at least for the cross to the site, but not only is it a 2 versus 4, but they have 3 ultimates ready and raring to go, and they may not even need them with how Alkia's been playing. It's labored, maybe for the first time, but it doesn't matter. She still gets away with the frag. And all that remains is Con, and Alkia is already looking to try and send this one. The utility's being denied, but that also helps let them know exactly where she is. Con with a second, though, starts to get dangerous, but again, GX is there. An 8th round.
Glance can clear angles. Alkia with a Blade Storm to back up that off. This is a terrifying round for Xipto. And GX, the one going hella aggressive. They know she's up close, but dealing with her is another thing altogether. GX back to her old ways down there on mid. She's having a whale of a time in this map.
If they've managed to get anywhere, I think this is going to be a nasty surprise, potentially for Glance. Unless there's some very poor timing. Oh, that one's for free. And now going to give the space for team. Safia's just jumped in. She's jumped into the site. I think only just realizing there's a player so close, and because of that, she's still gone down as well. I think some clear oversights in this round from KC. And now, Alkia and Anasilia have to try and save the day.
Yeah, this has turned from a favorable position, even in the half here for Xipto. This is going to give them a leg up moving into the next, if they end up taking it. But it's Alkia to deal with. It's Anasilia, ult popped already, so no utility to slow down this advance. It means Alkia's going to be here real quick in that close left corner. Oh, not even going to be cleared. No chance to clear it, as Khan was quick on the frag from deep in main. Capricious with her 3rd, and Xipto with their 4th. Pulled up the stats for that for me. So it's something that, like, it's difficult to imagine where it's going to be at in this day and age, but the problem is Alkia on the attack. That's where I think she's going to pop off. Now has even more freedom to run around the map and be that tip of the spear, already finding itself under the armor of Xipto with Khan out of the round. But Safia, too, has fallen.
Oh, this is already looking like a bit of a peculiar one with how much space that Yumi has been able to get. It's been a poor match from her thus far. struggling to really get going. Someone who's definitely one of those talented individuals. A new found one at that, and this might be the chance, but again, Alkia is just so quick with it. Sheriff in hand. Actually just taking the space on her own. Look at where the rest of the team is. They are currently entering the A site, and Alkia is just selling a ruse that has pulled every single member onto this side, but the ruse is still doing damage. She is completely alone, but somehow has almost killed her fourth player of the round. In fact, she's doing it all. She's just fully faking them out, and finally Capricious has put her down, even with a little bit of spam. But what Capricious has only just realized is they're not going B.
Whew, Alkia on the attack, huh? I mean, I don't even know how she's gotten away with that. She was 35 HP going in those last two fights and wins them both. Well, I suppose the last fight was technically Capricious, but the smoke fading has caught her off guard. KC quick on the trades and right back to winning ways. We saw this mid aggression when it came to the defensive side. We saw her go down on mid a couple times. Well, we saw her push mid, rather. She didn't go down. It was only her opponents who hit the floor. And now, nice little bait actually towards A main, but Piety down after one. Alkia already around them, and GX, here is her moment to strike. Patiently, she has waited, and a reward is found in the form of Graham's. And the advantage for KC. Oh, about to be doubled up on with Yuumi down.
Oh, that's a 24th kill for Alkia. I'm not going to tell the desk how to do their job, but I feel a highlight might be coming. Con has at least been able to trade one back. Now, Alkia is desperately low on HP. There is an opportunity here. Anasilia always loves to take the fight, even though she calls herself a support and does actually get dinged up for it. This is now getting pretty dangerous. Con has definitely been the player to watch the jump up, though. Alkia, again, was the bait, but you'd never believe it because she hits the headshot anyway. As if she hasn't got enough orbs and enough kills, they've given her the outlaw to kick off the round versus players that don't have heavy shields. Nice start, though.
Yeah, but this is the problem. Alkia's going in. They've got to deal with her. The shot has to land, and it does. There we go for Xipto. Sheriff's in hand, and a 5 versus 3. Potential rifles to be picked up as well inside of A main if they want to go for the risk. They want to reinforce the site quicker, as in fact a big fight on middle comes in. Con.
Nice shot.
The death blow onto GX has left KC without a port to call their home at this point. It's all just about the battles, and they have no information on where a favorable fight would be.
I don't know if you'd expect Yuumi to be in this corner, but given an individual fight, I'm not sure I like it. The group up for the rest of the players is a little bit better, it seems, although there is still an isolated duel over on the A site. Graham's is now going to go looking for the weaponry. Safia desperately trying to get something here, and we'll find another. In fact, she's ended up with 3. A 2v5 just moments ago.
30 seconds left.
And now into a 2 versus 2. Now Graham's position, I was going to say was wonderful on A, but she's now gone back towards middle. They should at least be able to get an additional rifle into the hands of Con, but this is very quickly swung in the other direction.
This is the thing. With Can so desperately low and Glance aggressively holding that rotation. We leave it all into the hands of Graham's. Now 2 fantastic Sheriff shots in A main to start out this round. But we need more with the rifle now in hand. It's Glance in that tight corner. The flash will catch. Oh, but Graham's not quick enough to swing, and now they're going to fight this together. What a recovery by KC. These two make their own look as 12-4 on the board.
They have not looked like they lost control at any point of this map.
There really is nothing like the KC fandom, especially when they're putting those dubs up. Glance waiting for this push. Will find the trade. Will find even more with Yuumi down. And the push from Alkia has been caught. And she won't be drawing blood, at least for now. But of course, she sticks around. The confidence sky high. A 26th kill is what she's looking for. And of course, she will find it. GX dealt with, but the swing into Alkia, death sentence with Glance by her side. Can, the last alive, 1v3, spotted by the drone, and the Hunter's Fury is sent out, but Anasilia with the death blow. 13-4, KC dominate their map pick.
On Alkia, I gotta be honest, those were some easy shots, and I'm throwing up air quotes because Alkia absolutely delivered, but there was not a lot of utility to put the pressure onto Alkia's crossline there. they're going for it again. They're gonna stick to tried and true and what their comfort is, and they've got to know that Karmine Corp, they've seen the footage. They know that this team likes Corrode, and so they've got to be used to this.
If they can go in for this blitz play, Flash is being held by both sides. You see the paranoia in Graham's, and Anasilia holding on to her own, but now Alkia goes walkabouts. The knife gives the info, but in fact the big swing gives the info first. Xipto opening pick, and well, the menace of the previous pistol round over on Abyss.
They can gamble at least a couple of players on the side of B. It's definitely not going to be easy trying to hold on to this control. The bait being made to try and make them not look in the direction of GX. She's done some damage. Rotation coming in for support, but Anasilia trying to hold the line. Glance battling and brawling, and a low HP couple of players, but it's going to be left on to Safia. The advantage sitting with Xipto, and so does the time.
Oh, this fight is everything for Safia with low HP left on Yuumi. That could have decided it, but Capricious comes ahead with a 1-0 start. Gotta be happy with that start, even with the 4th kill not going your way. Xipto now face off against the Rifles of KC. There will be a Bulldog in play for GX. I'm more concerned about Alkia and where she's gotten off to. Already pushed all the way down, and of course, that's going to be opening pick onto Capricious from right behind the trap wire. Spike down, held by Alkia, but they've lost GX in the meantime. And this attempt to push down middle, well, I was going to say it's not going to work out because there's so many players from Xipto, but now there's so many bodies left on the floor. And Anasilia joins the dead as a 3v2 in play, and Xipto, they still have a chance, but they need to get that spike back. It's going to be a big problem having to cross back on middle here. I doubt that Safia is going to be nice enough to put the wall up, but... Oh, inside the smoke! That's a big risk from Alkia, and now it's down to a 1v2.
This was one of the issues, was in the last map, Xipto were failing to punish these aggressive plays. Maybe they found their footing. I think for Xipto, there's definitely got to be that expectation that Safia will have pushed up.
30 seconds left.
She will have now heard the steps. That's the information she'd want. The problem is there's still utility holding her back. That Cypher's still standing, and she'll have to give the game away. Now they'll know exactly where she is as they hightail it on towards that A site. A chance for this, well, somewhat bonus round to pull out a victory, unless, similarly to the pistol, Safia can try and win a 1v2.
I think it's a nice play from Xipto, though. Even with the low HP, this makes it a much more winnable round. Having the plant for spawn, the post plant there as well. The cam's still in play from Piety, but hasn't been put up just yet. Might be played reactionary as Safia already spotted. Snake bite, that's not fully covering that angle either. Grahams can still sneak through. 16 HP. If that had full coverage, it gets a little risky, but...
Same level of aggression, taking that early space, but their opponents, Xipto, are hightailing it forward. Anasilia to the smoke is going to at least get an early trade, but she has lost her bucket.
Safia flies under the radar in the corner, shoots the decoy, and then the Yoru as Yuumi goes down. Safia will finally fall, but GX topples the rest of the totem. That is a MasterCard thrifty from KC, and a remarkable twist of fate.
GX is giving it there. I don't know if that's audio that could be played, but she was giving it.
She's been popping off, man. Every time we go to a replay of her, she's getting loud. I love to see it. That energy's so important down on the stage.
This is insane. Like, genuinely insane to be able to react while completely blinded.
Well,
AC, they're on the board. It's not the round we expected them to get onto the board, but they will take that recovery. And already Safia clearly feeling it. The push down mid again. Already having a player advantage is a bit of a risk. Piety has spotted an opponent and expects the reswing. Glance is gone, but Alki is actually still going. Her opponent now sits in spawn, and well, for Safia, this is all about denial, but a player has already managed to make it past her utility. That's Capricious in the corner. This could be scary. Wow. Alkia just about gets away with that one.
Crazy reactions on that play. And Safia is here playing off the swing of Anasilia, but then goes in when the smoke pops, and they have just dominated this round. Safia with a 3K after the double kill with the Sheriff that basically got them, certainly the leg up, maybe even the round in the previous. That's exactly what they're doing. Already found her. But Alki is going to delay them. Looking now to get a little bit aggressive as the Nightfall comes into play. Those players at main flank dump on his GX, pops the ult, gets a double, but somehow Xipto stabilized. The decay starting to fade as Yumi up top and third in the round already. This was looking like KC had snuffed out the flame of Xipto. But still, the spark was there until Glance comes in. A Blaze on the other side as KC 4-3 take the lead with a Red Bull clutch.
What the was that round? What have I just witnessed? The initial TP in combination with, I think that may have even been 2 ults. I think that was a Nightfall and a Convergence path at once. Then the Dimensional Drift having so much impact from behind with Yumi take it over, and then 2 bullets. Yeah, honestly, valid. Like, there's
from your fade. So Glance doesn't have that. And a Prowler on mid. Xipto then late play after super passive mid control. They late play into mid to look for this fight. I love this idea, allowing them to dump their utility and then trying for the battle. But the problem is they might not need the utility. Glance is here looking for the battle up close and a 3rd kill. In a matter of seconds, the round is over. A literal blink and you miss it. You know, I'd be fine with that.
You'd think I was preparing these, but I'm not. I'm just an awful human being. Nonetheless, again, a lot of what Xipto have been able to do in the rounds they've won have been punish the aggression. It's GX to be, but I feel like GX is a lot of the time the one being punished. Likes to get aggressive. Well, Glance knows where Bitey is. She's done well, and actually sets up Grahams for a trade at a big advantage once again, but don't go counting any chickens.
KC left chasing waterfalls. They don't know where this play is coming through, but no, they're going to find out pretty soon. It's the B site for Xipto. I mean, the one downside being that all those kills they found on mid, those rifles won't be recovered. So they're playing this late with a lot of Sheriffs. But in a 4v2, the numbers by their side, the wall towards the connector to stop that mid rotation, the flank being watched here. And the thing is, Khan doesn't necessarily want to win this fight. She certainly doesn't want to lose it, but spotting them is all that she wants because you have that sonic sensor behind as well. So the second that they look to swing that angle to fight you, they should be going down. Certainly will be stunned, and there you go. Exactly according to plan for Khan. Very nicely played, and a MasterCard thrifty for Xipto as a result. This game is far from gone.
They've done well at re-clearing mid. I think that's been one of the major successes. And with Dimensional Drift, instead, their plan is to try and push Safia out of this pit.
They've done that. Unfortunately, there's a bodyguard there. And Asilia with the surveillance catches them. They will let the pit go down, not risking running back into it, and it's the right call with the advantage already theirs. And look at the map control GX is holding. This is a corner that they'll need to clear. With the Viper wall just going down, they should assume that players are further back. It's a beautiful bait! The spray, though! Oh, was no need for a replay on that one. Alkia under pressure now, falling back as the numbers in favor for Xipto. They've even caught Alkia. She's stuck in the ground, stuck in the mud, but gets 2. Xipto will get the plant out of this, but the retake attempt from Anasilia and Safia all comes down to this first fight, and it will be Piety that wins it. Now there's a safe ground, a safe haven for this squad to hold.
Flash gives the game away. Operator holding on the corner, and that will be enough. Graham's ready for that fight.
Xipto, they've denied the early control, and that's going to get a push elsewhere. Again, they're waiting for it. Khan just holding patiently, but it's Anasilia to win the fight.
Yeah, they've had these advantages before, though. Glance going to make sure that they are slowed. A spam shot. GX again. Caught out trying to be aggressive. 30 seconds left.
30 seconds left.
And now back into an even scenario. Glance in the corner with a crossfire, needs to do well here and has a little bit of support, but now completely blinded. Grahams with another. It's left. Onto the Grim Reaper of the last map. Alkia isn't expected in the corner, and the spam almost does enough. Switches over to a second gun and just spams the smoke, expecting Grahams to be there. They We're going to have nightmares about Alkia tonight.
She might not be putting up that same performance as the last map, but it's been more of a group effort this time. Getting them a crucial round, at least guaranteeing that neck and neck to close it out. But that's so unfortunate for Xipto. They don't expect her to be behind that quickly, imagining the rotations happening through the spawn, but with the null command as well, it's a lot of reactionary ults for the defensive side to work with, and Alkia's already pushing down into their spawn, broken the trip, and kind of boxed Xipto into this A push.
Oh, that's silly under pressure though. No command in place, so they're just going to have to dry swinger. Do manage to trade. Pretty quick rotation already in from GX, a slightly more passive position than what we've seen in the last few rounds, waiting for the timing on the swing of her teammates. Graham's with a chance, but will fall. However, the trade backs are immediate. Glance now trying to do what she can, and puts it into the 1 versus 1 already. Her opponent knowing Con's ult doesn't connect. Can she find the shot instead? It's a chance once again, and this time Con will take it home. A 6-6, a deserved one it feels, as this is about as close as a map could get.
I think her role here a little different, right? We talked about the benefits that you have when you're playing with this agent, the Waylay getting in and the ability to get out of there. We've already seen the refract used on the defensive side, and there it is, point of contact, and Anasilia with the trade off the information. But of course, Alkia gets out of there with 18 HP. The refract so useful, and this is going to initiate their lurk through mid. The Prowler, though, will spot Safia.
Work from Capricious. That was a gap that could have caused problems if it wasn't quickly sealed. Now a lot of tagged up players already, but one of them, it's 18 HP, but he still managed to take one to the grave with her. This leaves 2 standing. That double senti that I'm sure they would have hoped was pushed into. It's definitely going to be quite a bit tougher. Now there is a fair amount of utility still available. The wall possible to put down. The other is a sensor, which I don't know how useful that's going to be. Piety, though's done well, but bear in mind Glance was already low, and the remaining 2 were just waiting for that swing to come in. KC will claim the lead, at least for now, but rather than shooting it, like just making it seem like, oh, they've been caught up by something. Now they double back towards Piety, but she's under some serious pressure. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Capricious, though, makes that one look easy. Early advantage picked up for Xipto.
Spike planted.
Spike will go down. I'm also looking at GX in the spawn, hearing the steps of Yuumi. Gun, it's pulled out. Not again. No, this time. She corrects in time. And now Alkia adding another to the pile of bodies that's starting to build up. Graham's does well, but it's Glance with a double trade. And now Piety. 3 to find, and they are giving her absolutely nothing. The protocol's on point, a crossfire being created. She's managed 1, but the other 2 players are just sitting back, waiting for her to try and tap this spike. There'll be another layer to this as the swing out, and well, it's a nice shot connected, but that was all just bait from GX to waste her time. It is KC now with their 9th, and a bonus round victory at that.
That's the thing. They've spotted these players come up on mid. If noise is made towards this A site, this could be a freebie for GX. She's had a couple of rough sprays so far, but look at this corner. She's dodged the Prowler in the spawn as well. GX is the best position. This was just cleared seconds ago, but the Prowler went right past her. She is behind them, and they are none the wiser, but Capricious. The spidey senses were tingling, and she's caught the player behind.
A little bit of body spam as well, just as almost like a, yeah, I caught you. They were definitely wary after they lost that middle control, and it's been a spot on the map that KC have been almost brutally taken away from them every single round. This setup, though, well, speaking of brutal, I don't think I've seen much more utility on the site ever. They're having to run around, try and destroy it. Luckily, the knife's going to help them out a little bit. Con's utility is on offline, but Piety, on the other hand, was able to dodge that and now waits patiently on the edge. I think the net also making things a little bit more awkward. Safia just trying to find a spot to actually plant this spike, but it is a full push back in to make sure they deny her. No space garnered. Alkia needs to be a hero now. Safia is all that remains. 7 seconds. As long as they don't all face her, it shouldn't be a problem, but they'll clear her before anything else can be done. Solid round from Xipto.
Xipto on the way back, but plenty of credits there for KC. And look, in the same position as last round, GX says it was so good, I'll do it again. It didn't find a reward in the previous, but it will this time. Yumi's TP'd into spawn and said, how the hell is GX here? And now Khan under so much pressure. These players are coming out from every inch of this B side as the TP's faked out by GX and they walk right into her. Piety all alone, a 1v4, and how quickly this round has crumbled by GX, doing the exact same thing as last round. In fact, telegraphing it even more so with the ulti.
Maybe it can.
We'll catch them.
5 chances now to lock this down. Oh my goodness, a reveal, beautifully positioned. Alkia finding a second. And from here, Xipto, they see their hopes fade, the spark dying out down on that stage, but they need a hero, and Anacilius watching the backlines, cutting them down to size as the blue wall stands strong and looks unbreakable. Xipto put their hopes in Piety. On site, holding, dodging the Prowler, but spotted and blinded. Up it ends with a 3K from Alkia, a 13-7 from KC, and a dominant start to their story here in Seoul.